Hello students, welcome to all of you. I am Professor Bhumi Patel from LG Institute of Engineering and Technologies. In today's PPS lectures, we cover the next unit, that is Unit 2, Fundamentals of C Language. Hello students, welcome to all of you. I am Professor Bhumi Patel from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. We are start with the Unit 2. In previous lecture, we are discussing the different data types, and recall that again, there are three different data types. Here we are list out the four primary data types. There are three different data types. First is a primary, or we can say that basic data type or a fundamental. Second is a derived data type, and third is a user defined data type. Now, in exam, suppose the question is given, explain primary data types. Then you have to draw the figure for this and another figure this, and write down the explanation as we told here. Now, we are start with this first primary data types. This chart we are discussing in our previous lecture. The primary data types divided in a four part: integer, float, character and void. This void data type is generally used in a function chapter. In a structure of C program, the last portion is user defined function section. At that place we are using void kind of data. Integer means what? We are storing whole number instead of decimal. If you want decimal values, real values, then you can choose float data type. And you want alphabets. For example, I want to insert my name as an input. Then you have to choose character data type. Now this four is divided in a subcategories. The integer is divided in a subpart: signed and unsigned. Signed means what? Positive, negative, both values are possible. And unsigned means only the positive values are possible in this category. Signed is divided in again three parts: integer, short integer, long integer. Unsigned is similarly divided in a three: integer, short integer, long integer. Now this type is for what? Here we explain each and every in a details. Signed, unsigned. So total 6 types of data in an integer. Next is a float, that divided in a three parts: float, double and long double. Character is divided only on a two parts: signed character and unsigned character. Now in a details we are discussed from this chart. Now here first we are write down all the data types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 are a integer. Then 2 are a character, and next 3 are a float. Next column indicates the storage size. Whatever value we are stored in a memory, how many bytes it requires to store that particular value is indicated here. Suppose I am writing integer 2, for example. So for integer it requires 2 bytes. This is indicated according to this column. And last is a range. How many values are possible for that data types? So suppose here we are start with the signed integer. Signed, if you are not write down signed, then directly we are write down in an integer. What we are write down? Directly integer. In previous example, we are write down only int. Not signed int, unsigned int. So by default, the C language consider signed value, that is positive, negative, both. But suppose you want only positive values as an input output, then you have to compulsorily write down unsigned before int. Okay? So here signed integer requires how many bytes? 2, that is fixed. Now according to this byte, the size is there. How? So let us understand. It occupies 2 bytes. Now convert into bits. So 1 byte equals 8 bits. 1 byte equal 8 bits. So here 2. So 2 into 8. How many? 16. How many bits? 16 bits are required to store integer value. Now anyone knowing the full form of bit? Bit means what? The full form is binary digit. Binary, that is BI, and T, that is digit. Clear? So BIT, that is bit, binary digit, and binary digit is nothing but 0 or 1. So the small individual unit of any binary code, that is called bit. So here for storing integer kind of data you need 16 bits. How many bits you need? 16 different bits. Now according to that size, it is binary, so base is 2. 2 raised to 16. This is the value for storing integer value. So whenever you are making 2 raised to 16, the output is 65536. And depends on this value, here the range is decided. Now range is not 65536, but it is 32,768. Now how this range is decided? So this is only the positive value, but sign indicates it is a negative also positive. So divide this by 2. So you are getting the value 32,768. So this will be here. And from negative 32,768 to positive value 767. Clear? Why here 8 is not there? Because 0 is there in between. Clear? So the maximum positive value you can store, that is 32,767, and negative is minus 76768. This is possible with integer. If you are writing integer A and in A you are storing 65,000, then this value will be not possible for integer, because integer range is fixed. Maximum positive value this and negative value is this. Similarly, sign short integer. Which category? Short. Short means 2 byte is not there, it is short, and store only in a 1 byte. 1 byte means 8 bits. So 2 raised to 8. How many? It is 256. Again, it is sign means both positive negative. So it is divided in a 2 and we are getting 128. So here the range is minus 128 to positive 127. So suppose you are writing here short integer, then only maximum value possible is positive 127. Cannot store 500 in this. Clear? Similarly, long integer. Now long is, integer is 2 and long is how many? 4. So it is nothing but 2 raised to. How many times we have to do? 4 into 8, that is 64. So 2 raised to 64 and the number is so many bigger. So here I am indicated with dash line. Similarly, the unsigned value is there only for a positive integer, short integer, long integer. So the range is fixed, bytes is fixed, only change the range value. Integer occupies how many bytes? 2. Short integer always occupies how many bytes? 1. And long integer occupies 4 bytes in a memory. But according to the category, now the range is changed. Here negative value is there, but here negative is not. So this range 2 raised to 16, that is 65,536. So here 0 and up to this. Similarly 1 means 256. So our range is 0 to 255 because negative value is not possible. Unsigned category. Similarly, 4 has a dash, so many large value is there. Now signed character and unsigned character. The character occupies only the 1 byte in a memory. So if it is in a signed category and 1, so in this figure sign and 1. The range is this. So here I am writing same range. Unsigned character with 1. Unsigned and 1. At which place? This. Unsigned and 1. So the range is this. 0 to 255 similarly. Clear? Now float, double and long double. This is for what? To store real value with a decimal value. Float store the value up to 6 decimal point. Up to 6 decimal point. Now float requires 4 byte, double requires 8 byte and long double requires 10 bytes. So it is very long range. That is indicated with this E sign. The range is 3.4e minus 38 to 3.4e plus 38. And here 8 that indicates 8 into 8. That is 2 raised to. Clear? So here the range is 1.7e minus 3082, 1.7e plus 308. And 10 indicate 2 raised to 80. That is again so long. We are writing only with the dash. So this is the range for that particular kind of data. Now next is derived data type. Here our primary data type is completed. Next is a derived data type. Second, derived data type, and third is which user defined data type. It is again divided in so many different types. Derived data type example is array, then function, and then pointer. This whole name, array, function, pointer, is nothing but our chapter. So here we are only introduced only the definition, what is array, what is function. In details about this we are discussing in our unit, in our chapter later on. User defined data type is example structure, union, enum, something like that. So let us start with first derived data type. The word is derived. Derived means implement from other, that called derived. So the derived data type is implemented from the primary data types. That's why it is known as a derived data type. Example is array, function and pointer. Now what is array? Suppose I am writing integer a. Then a store only the single value 10. Suppose we want to store second value, then you need another variable to store second value. Suppose you want to store third value, then again you need third variable to store third value. So suppose you want 100 values to store, then you have to write what? 100 different variables. Yes or no? No. This is possible to store hundreds value, thousands value in a single variable using array. This is our chapter, array. So the array means what? It is a collection of data. It is a collection of elements with same data type and using single name. Inside single name, you can store collection of data, that is multiple data. That is nothing but array. How it is executed, we are so on our chapter. Second is function, that is user can create its own function. That is the part of our program. Pointer means what? Pointer means word is point something. That is nothing but pointer. Again we are seeing this in a details in our chapter. So these three are the derived data type and these three are a user defined data types. That is structure, union and enum. Now what is structure and union? The drawback of array is what? In an array you can combine multiple values with the same category. Suppose you want some 5 data of integer and 5 data float and combine in a one with array, then it is not possible. Array only combine same data type. But if you want multiple kinds of data to store in a single name, then it is possible with a structure and union. So the definition of structure and union is what? It is a collection of elements with a different data types using single name. And here array is what? It is a collection of elements with the same data type using single name. So here our data types theory is completed. If you have any query regarding this topic, then feel free to contact me. Thank you so much for listening this video.